What's up, traders? So that wraps up another beautiful trading day. And the first trade we did on the live stream, whack. It was a small, 2.7% loss or something like that, close to 3% loss. It happened really, really fast. If you guys didn't see it on the live stream, I definitely recommend checking it out. It was pretty cool. Plus, you got to see a classic thinkorswim glitch where the price went below my limit order. I didn't get executed, pulled back up above it, and then came back, and then I got executed. It was the whole thing was just a little bit weird, and I should have closed my limit order when I knew things were getting a little iffy. I didn't expect it to pull off so hard. Either way, wasn't that important. I moved on, and it wasn't long till we found some really, really nice trades. And in yesterday's trading recap video, I actually said I'm not going to trade phase 2 breakouts, phase 2 morning breakouts anymore. Because I have a 25% success ratio on that trading setup, which is horrible. My average is about 63% success ratio, and one of my best patterns is 80% success ratio. So a 25% success ratio is horrible. But I saw this one, and I want to talk about it on the chart specifically with you guys, why I entered and why I exited, because I think it's really important that you guys know my logic behind the trades. And I know I post the pictures and the descriptions and kind of I write my entries and exit, but I feel like when I talk about it on camera with you guys, then I just like lay it all out for you, and you can kind of see me talk through it on the charts with you on one-on-one. So I think that's a little bit, so I hope there's some really good value in that for you guys. Plus, I rewatch all these trading recap videos myself, and I always love seeing my thoughts like a week ago or 2 weeks ago when I entered and exited a trade. It definitely helps me become a better trader. And the last trade we did was a beautiful, classic, textbook perfect support line bounce. Honestly, if I had more trades today, I cannot wait till we are done with the $25,000 challenge. Not because I don't like the challenge, but I just want to have our small account over $25,000. I want to have more trades because today was one of those days. I would have done probably, 5 to 10 trades today because there was so much happening. There's even still a lot happening. And I do have some other accounts I sometimes trade with, but at the same time, in mixing up my focus, I never really liked doing it. So I was a little bit paused off, jumping on a different account. But so yeah, good trading today. We're getting closer to breaking the $1,000 profit mark on the month, which is great for the fact that we've been trading on average about $900 position sizes. So we've more than doubled our account in terms of our average position size. So that's also really, really cool. Not to mention, it's not just luck or anything like that. It is over 100 trades already documented for this challenge. So it's just many, many trades. Actually, when we started doing more trades, my winning percentage went up. I was way less stressed because I knew I would have 3 trades today instead of just 1 or 2 like it was in the beginning of the challenge, which totally stressed me out. And I think it's a big reason why in November and December, I just made so many mistakes because I would put so much pressure on myself because I was like, I have 1 trade, I have to make it count. And then oftentimes I would, hold too long, or I wouldn't enter because I'm like, is this really the best setup? So, I kind of psyched myself out, and now all the kind of moving parts are really coming together. So yeah, guys, let's dive into the charts. Let's review those 3 trades, and especially TN, and check out what that bad boy's up to. Alrighty, so let's get into it. VXRT, this is the first one we traded, and you can see a 3% loss. A little bit more than I remember. So yeah, $29.30. This was definitely a bit of a tough one. Let's talk about this one first and then dive into the other 2. And this is the one you guys already saw on the live stream, VXRT. If you check it out, I talk about the watch list. I talk about this trade because it happened live. You can see it all there in real time. Just check out the link here. It's going to pop up. I always link these recap videos to the live stream where we're doing the actual trading. So I would definitely recommend giving that a look because there's nothing like seeing things happen in real time. VXRT was looking pretty good pre-market. 42 million market cap, 47 million shares outstanding. Pretty nice, exactly what we're looking for usually. Gapping up about 100%, pulling back to major support here at 0.8. Everything looking really, really good. Honestly, buying this pre-market probably would have been a really good idea. but I don't really do much pre-market trading. We also had a nice little bullish flag right here, and then we broke out from this bullish flag. It was about a 20% breakout. So this thing looked really, really good in the morning. I was maybe thinking that we could buy this on a quick little pullback, maybe something around 0.89, maybe 0.9, some quick little pullback in this area before it continued up, but we didn't really get that. That was my original plan. Broke up higher and then pulled back here. I originally had a limit order at 0.9, I think 985 or something. It was just right around here. Pulled back perfectly, bounced up, but this bounce was really weak. It was only about 4% total. So I was really, really sketchy about that bounce. I don't like when those first bounces aren't strong. It really means there's not a lot of dip buyers. There's a lot of sellers, and you can really see here the selling volume just in general in these areas was really, really high. Not a lot of buying going on. So I was really, really cautious, and you probably remember me saying that during the live stream. I had a limit order down here this whole time, and then when the price crashed, we finally got executed. It was really, really nice. It was such a weird execution though. I mean, you got to see it on the live stream. It basically just dipped all the way below our limit order, pulled back up like the majority of the way, and then pulled back again, and we got executed on the second time. I'm not really sure why, but that's just what happened. Then we had one more sell-off, and this one was kind of aggressive. It was 7%. I think we were down 70 or almost $80 on this trade at one point, and I was really not happy about it, but I did understand that 0.8 was massive support, and we didn't even hit 0.85, so I felt fairly confident. I was just really hoping for a quick bounce back up here to VWAP, and we didn't really get that. So once this bounce kind of started dying off and we started pulling back again, there was orders, there was a buyers at 0.9, and when those started getting chipped away, I forced my exit onto those buyers and got out of this trade, which it was probably a good thing, because I don't know if we would have held through this red candle. Who knows? It's hard to say what would have happened, but unfortunately this thing did kind of pull up, I guess you can say, back to here. So we probably could have closed this trade out for a small profit as well, but this trade didn't go our way. It was a loser, and we just closed it out. So I'm pretty happy. I'm especially happy that we didn't sell down here at the bottom, although I was pretty on edge for a second. I was like, ooh, that dip was really, really quick. And the worst thing that can happen is when a stock like VXRT dips down 10-15% in a quick minute, and then all of a sudden the stock gets halted, and then usually it'll open up and continue the direction it got halted in. So that's really, really dangerous, and that's why you want to get out of a trade fairly quickly. I did hold this one a little bit past my max 5% typical loss area, where I definitely want to be getting out of a trade. It all happened very fast. It was fine, but yeah, I don't know, just a little sketchy. The rest of the day, this thing was pretty choppy. I was trying to buy it on a pullback back to 0.8. I was watching it in this area, and again, I was watching it here. And then by here at about 11:36, I was already done trading. I was already filming the first part of this video, and I was just, I didn't watch any of this. Not to mention, we already did our 3 trades in our small account. This pull would have been really, really nice, and I think there's a good chance I probably would have traded this one. Big volume on the dip, and then green candle comes in already with not a lot of volume. Everything is looking really good for a reversal. This probably looked amazing on the level 2. So yeah, I don't know. This would have been a nice trade, but whatever. You can't trade all day, so. Or you can, but that'll make you go crazy. What's the point of trading if you're just going to be glued to the screen? Next thing, NH. Now this one, this one kind of is a little painful. I'm just really happy we didn't end red on this trade somehow. Talk about getting out too early. So let's quickly recap what was going on with this one. Market cap 265 million, so it's a bit bigger. It's getting close to that mid cap area. Shares outstanding 110 million. Here's what I really liked about it. And I've been saying this, phase 2 morning breakouts. I don't really want to be trading anymore because I've been on the wrong side of these so many times. But here's why I entered this one. One, it was a red to green move that ended near major support. So what does that mean? Basically, if you can see the daily chart here, you can see that we had a big resistance zone here, here, and here. And let me just go to the long-term chart and you can see it a little bit better. We tried to break out from this area many, many times. This was original support and then became resistance. And we finally broke out of that area today. Big green volume. And in that opening bell area, we were pulling back to this big support area. So when that really gained momentum in this area and started pulling higher, I knew we've already tested the bottom. So there's big support, big proven support below us. And that made me a little bit more aggressive. Number 2, it wasn't really overextended. Pre-market, this thing was gapping up. about 95%, but like I said, it pulled back to these big support areas. And there's many times you'll see a stock pre-market up 200, 300%. So this one's only 90%. Not really too bad. I mean, for a small cap, these things can sometimes run, and 90%, I still felt fairly comfortable in trading this one. The next thing is we were already trading above a VWAP. So sometimes when I try to do these second phase breakouts, we'll still be below VWAP, and I'm waiting for a break past VWAP and to continue to move to the upside. So the fact that we were above VWAP made me a little bit more comfortable. Not to mention, this was the first real big break to the upside here. So we had this pre-market high right here of 187, and we got rejected here the first time, and then boom, this was the big break back above it, 11% move. We pulled back to this area, and that's around the time I entered this trade. I entered the trade actually when we had this green candle pop to the upside. I bought on the pullback, and then this thing started moving up really nicely. So this is basically the first breakout to the upside, and I'm getting that first pullback, which makes me feel even more comfortable. And then reason number five, there was good micro news behind this company. If you check out the news here, I believe it was some sort of AI lung cancer based tool. Right here you can see it, new AI based lung cancer tool. And I didn't really read up on the report or anything like that, but that is really nice micro news, some really good PR. That's really something you can get behind, especially as a trader. And that's some news investors love seeing too. So this is just really good fundamental news for the company. So there's a lot of stuff going in favor of this second breakout, and that's why I ended up getting a little bit more aggressive on it. Now, here's the problem. I ended up getting out of this trade way too early. And I think it's a little bit of my PTSD when it comes to these morning phase 2 breakouts, is just because there's so many times where these things crawl higher. I'll be up 3, 4, 5%. And before you know it, we get one of these red candles, and I'll get one more chance typically to get out at best. And then, they crash all the way back down to maybe some support and maybe continue running up from there, but it's never guaranteed. So I was like, boom, I did not want to see any bit of resistance. I was looking for only green candles, and sometimes you get them. Again, this is a pattern I don't trade often, and it's a pattern I don't have a lot of luck with. So that's why, the second I saw some selling pressure, I was like, you know what, I'm out of here. Unfortunately, the next candle shoots up 4%, and then this thing, runs a total of about 12%, which was, this move could have been so nice. But that happens. I'm actually super excited that we got almost 3% on this trade, 2.63. I was basically back break even for the day already, and that already made me happy enough. This is the trade though that I definitely would have traded again, especially on this pullback to VWAP right here. Really like that. This could have been a phenomenal secondary trade today. Even from this breakout, it ran up 27%. So just so many really just amazing moves on this one. I really like how it's just, slowly making its way higher. First green day, a lot of good stuff behind this one. Doesn't really have much resistance till about this shoulder that we're kind of stuck in right now. So you can really see here intraday that, if we originally had some issues breaking out here, we tried to break from it, but then we pulled back again, and then we had a clear break from this area, had a pullback, and then a nice little continuation. So big resistance in this area, but let's see kind of how far this thing goes. I'm not going to be getting into it anymore, but I do like this stock in terms of, how it was trading today and all the potential that we could have squeezed out of it. But right now we just don't have that many trades. Some big resistance also in this area, so around $3. If we traded this again, maybe tomorrow it's going to run as well, but I wouldn't be surprised if around, between 3 and 330, maybe there's going to be big resistance again. So let's see. Let's keep an eye on this thing the rest of the week. Let's see how far it's going to go. And the last thing I want to talk about, ARMP. This was such a fun stock to watch today. It was the biggest gainer on our watch list, and we had a beautiful trade on this one. This was a textbook classic support line bounce. So let's quickly go ahead and review it. Let's see, pre-market, it was not the biggest gapper, but that's not always a bad thing. It's about 46% gapping up. Market opens, and this thing just shoots on up. This would have probably been one to watch, but we didn't have it really. I wasn't really focusing on it. 72% rally. This was really nice. It wasn't until this big candle we had, this big move to the upside, and this pullback is really when I started watching it. this would have been a really good entry. I was so overly focused though with VXRT, so I was not watching this one. But a pullback back to 5 would have been a phenomenal entry, and that's just because 5 is major long-term support or resistance. We broke through that area. We had a pullback back to 4.69, and then we really ripped onto the upside. So that would have been a really good trade. But I knew $5 was big support. So eventually all day, it just starts crawling towards this $5 area. Didn't really dip past 522, and we entered around 527. And this little bounce, this little move to the upside was amazing. This was a 7.21% move. Really, really nice. The reason I got out, not just is because there was big, obviously the buying was just very weak, first of all. You could also see with the volume, just not a lot of volume. And we had one of these big dips down here. And anytime I see one of these big dips, I typically want to be getting out as we approach the highs of these dips. And that's exactly what I did. So we had a nice little 7% move in this area. Really, really happy about this trade. Almost near perfect entry and near perfect exit. Don't usually get such clean entries and exits, but this one was really, really nice. I probably could have been a little bit more aggressive here and held it through this pullback, but I usually don't like to do that. There's so many of these trades where I'll be up 5 to 10%. And then I'm like, you know what? Let me try to get that 12, 13%. And then before you know it, I'm getting out for 2% and the stock sells off the rest of the day. So you don't want to get overly greedy on these. But this thing, yeah, it did, pull up another 10% here. This would have been a really good second trade, especially after this big green candle to the upside. Buying near the highs of this green candle and sneaking out maybe another 3-4% would have been probably a really, really good move. Yeah, I don't know. That would have been my second move. And then here at around 11 o'clock, 11:15 or 11:23, this was the one. Big, huge, just $5 support, guys. It was so picture perfect on this one. I didn't have any trades left, and I didn't really feel like doing it. I was already doing some other stuff. I was kind of done with trading for the day. I was just kind of watching this one out of the corner of my eye. Tried to break down here. It was very, very weak. Relatively, the selling volume was tiny. I mean, look at this. And then instantly, right away, big green buyers coming in here. This thing runs up 6%. You would have had one more opportunity to enter this one at around $5. So it could have been a really nice pullback trade as well if you didn't want to risk this. A lot of times, it's really good to wait for buyers to come in. That way, you are not on the wrong side of one of these support line bounces, because sometimes they don't work. And when they don't work, there will be a big dip, a big flash crash. So you have to watch out with these patterns. They're not, they're not super safe, but they are extremely predictable. And that's what's nice about them. Big support comes in here, basically rejects the fact that we're going to break below $5, and then new buyers come in here, we consolidate, and then this thing is just ripping up. It's already up 20% from I don't know, I can't even just watch this. It's such a nice chart, and who knows how far this is going to go. There's probably a good chance it's going to break past 7, have a new high of day, but who knows, anything's possible. I'm not going to be trading it anymore. All right, guys, that's everything for this recap video. Thanks for tuning in. It's super good fun to trade with you guys. If you have not done so already and you enjoy this content, consider giving a like. And if you are totally new here and you want to get into trading, definitely go ahead and subscribe. I would love to have you on our live streams. It's really, really good fun. And we're doing a $25,000 challenge, growing an account from $4,000 to $25,000. And what are we at right now? Getting close to $5,500, I believe. I would have to double check. More closer to $5,400. So really decent progress. And a lot of the progress came in January because November and December, we made a lot of little mistakes, account allocation issues, just a bunch of really nonsense. So I'm super excited as the challenge starts picking up. And I know that as long as we stick to the basics, the clean patterns, we're going to start growing this account exponentially as our position size increases. So a lot of exciting stuff to look forward to. All right, guys, have a great rest of your evening. I'll see you then tomorrow for the live stream. Till then, stay safe and make some awesome trades. Ciao, ciao, guys.